My name is Made Priyata Dharmasdana. I am a student of Diploma 3 English Department, Ganesha University of Education. Now, I am practicing to handle guests visiting the Balinese house Kembang. Ladies and gentlemen, on these occasions, I will explain a few points about the traditional house architecture in Bali. The first, we will discuss a little about inherent beliefs in Bali. People in Bali are very attached to unique culture and habits, and have a high, uh, rel- very high belief in their religions. Traditional communities in Bali try to harmonize and avoid the natures of the cautions or a rape against the environments so that its uh, elements will change its functions is always preceded by doing attribute. With carry out curtains ceremony in accordance with the moral teachings contained therein Hindu's religious teachings. The performance of the ceremonies of respects is always completed with a man in the form of the ceremonies in the form of offering as a statement devotions toward fellow creatures. In the traditional Balinese architecture, this can be seen clearly in the ongoing the development process accompanied by a series of ceremonies starting from the process searching for a material like cutting for wood, determinations of a land for a building like a yard with the ceremony new choral and macharu as a statement of a request to change the function of the site. The ceremony for making standard size in Bali, the name is a gugulak. The ceremonies for ngarwak as a statement to request to build buildings. A ceremony memakuh as a ceremony for laying stone first. Nyajar Daksina as a request for safety and supervision to Bhagawan Wisma Karma as the god of the Balinese traditional architects is there during the process on instructions without distractions and mistakes ceremonies. Pemalas palas and pengurip-urip as a statement of gratitude for the realizations of the new forms as well as recognitions in a form as a magical powers and souls just like humans and creatures other. Well, those are some brief explanation of the culture and custom in Bali. For the next step, we will discuss directly about Balinese traditional house uh, architecture. Traditional Balinese house architectures uh, with the background of the religious norms, beliefs, and local customs. The implementations guidelines contains various roles, provisions, regulations, and various other arrangements which are protective factors on progress. The dimensions of the buildings use the size of the limbs of the building's owner, such as hands, arm, and legs, with the intention of the keeping the owner with the buildings psychologically being one and familiar. The appropriateness of the sense of space avoidance appears on the spatial scales, greatness from the elements of the hand, the size, a scale in the form of the sticky, a clove, a telec, a user, a leg, a worm, a mass, a serum, and gully seven, and nyali, and rai, and a pair five, evening looking, a tubah looks five from the element of size shaped on the middle of the platform agung, middle platform alit, cubit from the element of the foot to the shape of the size appears in a visible. In general, there are three terms in the size of traditional Balinese house buildings, namely is sikut karang, sikut nata, and the basics is sikut gagulak. The coral sikut is the size of the yard traditional Balinese house, whose appearance is born from the hands of the owner with the pengurip units, or is an additional measure that gives curtains meanings to owner. Nuts nata is the size or the distance between one building and another in the 1 yard. With the main units tapak batis, the meaning is the length of the owner's feet, and the pengurip unit is ngandang or a foot weight. The constructions in the system in traditional Balinese architectures considers a concept called triangga, which is a heretical concept from the start of insult. The meaning is niste, middle or madyu, and a main is mandali. The house of the Balinese people is very unique because the house is not unit under one roof, but divided into several spaces that stand alone, and a space of pittance which is arranged according to the concept of the wind direction and axis of the Mons Agung. For the S directions with the axis of facing Mount Agung is the main locations in residential houses, so that the locations is usually used to place places of the worship, or in Bali is called Pamaraja. Well, those are some explanations that I can convey. Hopefully, they can be useful, and if there is something that is not clear, I will give you 5-10 minutes to ask me. Okay, thank you.